Hello dear friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel on LELB Society. This session I will be teaching you a unit corresponding to week 30 day 1 from the course book 1100 words you need to know. Okay, new words. Okay, extinct means no longer existing. So on the edge, or even actually over the edge of extinction. Idyllic. If you just visit my website at lelb.net, you can see all the flashcards that automatically pop up when you just place the cursor of your mouse on them. Idyllic means simple and peaceful. And galvanize. Galvanize means to stimulate, excite, or arouse an activity, stimulate somebody. Encumbrance. Encumbrance means burden and handicap and load. Hindrance, impediment. Gaudy, as an adjective, means showy and flashy, and something that is of low quality and cheap. Okay, the context. In days gone by, or elapsed, or past. The man who best described the now extinct life aboard is a steamer on the Mississippi River. Board a steamer on the Mississippi River is Mark Twain. Sorry for my intonation. So aboard here means on the surface of. Steamer refers to a steamship on the Mississippi River, a river in the United States, is Mark Twain, the famous writer who has written the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Having actually worked aboard the river boats, his writing captures the tranquil or turbulent events of those days. Pay attention to this structure, having plus past participle. Actually, it refers to a status when you want to just explain about or talk about two actions, one before the other action. So here, this action has happened before the next one. Having actually worked means after working aboard the river boats, and the subject must be the same. So the subject of this statement, this part or clause, is the same as the following one. So his writing, it refers to Mark Twain's writing, captures, shows, indicates tranquil, peaceful, and turbulent, changing. These are opposite events of those days. In his book about life on the Mississippi, Twain recalls the idyllic times when man was not in such a great rush to get from one place to another. Okay. Twain recalls means remember the idyllic, peaceful times when man was not in such a great rush or hurry, Hurry, to get from one place to another. One chapter deals with, one chapter deals with the races conducted between the swiftest of the boats. One chapter, one episode of the book refers to the races or competitions conducted, means done or made or arranged and organized between the swiftest, means fastest, quickest of the boats. When a race was set, the excitement would galvanize activity along the river, stimulate activity along the river, so it's clear. Politics and the weather were forgotten because people were excited about the races. And people talked with gusto, means enthusiasm, eagerness, only of the coming race. People were just concerned with the race that was about to happen. The two steamers stripped and got ready. Steamships were taken out, or they got ready. Stripped means take out. Every encumbrance that might slow the passage was removed. Encumbrance means problem or hindrance that might slow the passage was removed. Captains went to extremes to lighten their boats. Captains went to extremes, did anything they could in order to lighten their boats. For example, jettison, Jettison. Jettison means get rid of, in order to make their boats lighter. Twain writes of one captain who scraped the paint from the gaudy figure that hung between the chimneys of his steamer in order to lighten it, in order to make it lighter. Scrape here, scrape means scratch, itch, rub off the paint from the gaudy figure, means statue or statue that was hanging between the chimneys of his steamer. Sample sentences. Number 1. Today the trend is to more and more gaudy dress. These days, trend means fashion here, is more and more. Gaudy, more and more means, as you can see, an increasing number of or amount. Gaudy dress means if something is gaudy, particularly dress, actually it appears in a light color, something too showy or flamboyant, and from that point of view it's not that impressive. It is amazing how lithe means flexible. Lithe and agile football players can be, despite the encumbrance of the safety features of their uniform. It is astonishing how flexible their bodies could be, despite means although or in spite of the encumbrance of safety features of their uniforms. The dinosaur is an extinct species. It means they do not exist anymore. Species is group of creatures or animals. Or city dwellers or residents or citizens often yearn for, means long for, have a burning desire for the idyllic life in the country. The country in the country refers to the rural areas. A dictator will use any pretext to galvanize his people into aggressive actions. A dictator will use any pretext or excuse to stimulate his people into aggressive, violent actions. And the idiom for today is 40 winks. It's a short nap. It's an idiom. During the night before the big test, he studied continuously, catching 40 winks now and then. Means from time to time. Now and then. From time to time. Okay, during the night before the big test, because we have studying, it must be actually an exam, an academic exam. He studied continuously, constantly, catching, or instead of studying here you could say cramming, C-R-A-M-M-I-N-G, catching 40 winks from time to time. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for further English vocabulary